Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the official PokerStars channel. We are live once again. My name is Nicholas Walsh. I will be your host for today. And as you come to expect from me, we're probably going to be playing some spin and goes, guys. That's kind of what we do here. All right, we're going to 3-bet this to 6. Yerp. Obviously, willing to go broke here, no problem. 2 bullets defends here. Do we have a C-bet? Do we have a really, really small C-bet, guys? Just the tiniest C-bet of all time? I don't suppose we continue in this scenario. 2 overcards, blocking queen 10, blocking 9-10 as well. That kind of sucks. If he does just have a random jack or random 7, he probably doesn't go too wild here. It's a bit of a weird one, guys. Like, I don't think he does this with a jack or a 7. So is he basically just saying he has a king? I guess we're calling. It's a bit of a weird one, guys. It just feels like it might be a little bit more bluff heavy than not. But we'll see in a sec, I suppose. Seems like a good read. Seems like a good read. Definitely want to have a note for that guy in a moment, though, because obviously defend with queen deuce of hearts is pretty catastrophic. The biggest problem I have with that whole setup is just the fact that, like I said, I just don't see... People will defend king X quite often. Sometimes they will have jack X, but I think given the way we played the hand, I'm not sure if I see too many people just ripping jack 10 there, for example. So you give him like a bunch of like reasonable hands that he's going to have, some of which are ridiculously strong, and then some of which are just complete air. A lot of the reasonable stuff that he has there just doesn't play the hand like that right on the flop. So it's just a bit of a weird one for me, and I think it just does. It's kind of something about that whole setup. Obviously, is just screaming at me that it's just not a good. It's not a good setup. That doesn't really make a ton of sense. These days, obviously, I play most of my material, most of my content, most of my volume, excuse me, here on stream, and that is relatively limited. But primarily creating content for you guys is my focus now, right? So, pretty easy continuation here, guys. I think we can go really small. It doesn't have to be big at all. Queen 7, queen. Obviously, we're gonna get tons of folds here. Might be a one and done scenario though. Once we bet the flop, I suppose technically speaking, we could shove turn here. We should still get folds from 7x. We do have a gut shot. I'm gonna go for it, guys. Wish me luck. The punish, the absolute punishment. But the smaller size in the flop obviously is really cool because it facilitates the bluff on the turn a lot better. Having more to shove on the turn is definitely better than having less in that scenario. So sizing on the flop there really, really interesting and important. Where are we at? 14? Yeah, 14 is just the min. Yep, easy all in here. Love that. Hey, Matthews, no problem. If you have more questions, hit me up. I'm here to help. There's always a trade-off with the whole kickoff situation. I think that Kickoff is a game that I sincerely enjoyed playing and would still play today. Obviously, we're not doing much of it on stream anymore because Croaks decided to move on from doing the dual streams. The dual streams might still return regardless anyway. I haven't written off KOs completely. The only thing I'll say about that format, though, is as much as I found it really enjoyable and I am used to playing super high variance games and I have the bankroll to play that game, and I do sincerely believe that it might have maybe double the ROI of a spin and go if you were to put in the appropriate amount of volume. I'd say that the variance is more than most people are used to, and if you're not used to playing spins or similar, I think it's really important that you're careful because that game is very, 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 very swingy. If we're not going to bet the flop, we have to call the turn. That just seems pretty standard. Just because he will be betting the turn with straight draws, he will be betting the turn with flush draws that we're still ahead of. So he bets the turn, and then he full pots river. Okay. All right, so we can ISO this one. This is another interesting one. So we're almost at like 19 big blinds effective. So our interesting sort of two size ISO range here is going to be for 1/3 of that stack, or approximately 1/3. We're going to probably be okay limping this one. If he shoves, we're definitely calling, though, with ace-8 suited here. His hand's far too strong to limp fold. Nice in disguise now, of course, here as well. It's nice to have some aces that we limp, of course. At this stack depth, technically we should just bet flop and hope that he has a 5 or a king high or something like that. Seems pretty reasonable. We're going to get mountains of folds on ace-5 ace, but in order to play correctly, we need to bet this. And I think it's as painful as it is. It's these kinds of spots where if we're not betting, we're just not winning enough stacks, right? So we just call. The fact our hand is disguised here is really nice. Might actually convince him to blast off here. He could also have a hand like deuce 4 as well. That's not unreasonable. Like, I think check raising here when you have a gut shot with like deuce 4 is really nice. Having a boat is better though, right? So we have to commit it, right? We have to commit the rest. Maybe this looks weaker. I don't know. Is it better to just always get the money here? I think he probably always calls if we don't put him all in here, so I'm just going to go for this instead. It's unfortunate. Still, we win a ton from that pot. That's really nice. So here's a spot where we probably do have a check raise, especially in a limped pot. I think it's probably reasonable to just float here as well. It doesn't always have to be a check raise. I think when we have the gut shot like this, it's meant to be a check raise, but it can be really small too. It can be really, really teeny tiny and has a very similar effect. This is a push against most players. Against this guy, we can play it slower. This is an easy like insta-profit push, but I think against this individual, we're okay to play it slower. And just try and play from position with a very playable hand. Kuri says, why don't you use a HUD though? Technically speaking, I could use a HUD if I wanted to and actually wouldn't even show on screen. The way that I'm doing the screen capture, basically I can have it so that the HUD doesn't show if I choose not to. However, the main reason why I don't use a HUD in the first place is simply because I think that when you're playing such a varied number of opponents, it doesn't really give you that significant of an edge because you don't get that many hands against any one player. And a lot of the game is going to be down to my experience combined with a very, very sort of standard GTO approach, if that makes sense. So if I was going to play a player pool where it was the same guys a lot, I would probably always use a heads-up display. And even if I was, you wouldn't see it on the screen over here too. Technically, I am running the heads-up display, but I'm not running the actual heads-up display. I'm just running the tracker so that I can show you guys the profit and loss at the end. That's how I showed you my my poker tracker graph at the start of today's stream. So I do know how to use a HUD. I have used a HUD in the past. For the games that we play here on stream, I don't think it's necessary. I think I've got a significant edge without it. So I'm quite happy to not use it at all. It really boils down to just having enough hands on any one individual player, really. Like, you know, we're crushing everyone out here just based on the sort of notes and the sort of indications that we find in their play, combined with what is a very solid pre-flop strategy and post-flop GTO strategy as well, I suppose. Okay. Finner says, hi Nick, great job on the EPT Paris, mate. Are you doing commentary for other upcoming events as well? Finner, I do every EPT now. So I am contractually obliged. I say obliged, I'm very, very pleased to be contractually obliged to attend every single European poker tour, and I have been since last January. So as of last January, I signed a contract where I'll be at every EPT doing commentary with those guys moving forward. Again, this is another decent check raise spot if we're facing the one big blind bet. Really think that that's totally cool. Same size as before, really. I think this is totally fine. Don't ever expect him to really fold a 6 or a 4 for this size, but if we go smaller here, we can have other bets on later streets, which are also cool. Sometimes we hit an 8, and that's enough as well. So we might give him a second barrel here. Needs to be a bit bigger this time, like a third of his stack. And then we make it straight. Easy game. Let's give it some... yeah, exactly, Tom. Exactly. My notes are superior to the notes are superior to the HUD data, absolutely. All right, this is our biggest multi so far, 5x. Pocket fives, baby. Let's go. Running into kings doesn't feel great. One for the good guys. Ace 10. Let's put the chips in the middle here. Getting called by KJ, not a problem. Very good. Can we beat him? Oh, that's probably never a fold. You're probably meant to shove any 2 cards there. It's pretty close. Didn't see the exact stack depth, but almost positive you're supposed to be getting that one in. All right, 2.5. Ace 6, definitely a call. Got him dominated here. All right, GG's. Should we get him this time? If we bet 2.8, we need to go a bit bigger, right? That way we can get the rest on the river. This guy has never folded a 10 before in his life, mate. This guy has literally never folded a 10 before in his life. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's annoying because I just nuked my old database and I could have given you my long-term results there. That would have actually been more useful, I think. 9 big blinds. Here we go. This unbalanced ISO size. And then we're basically just going to go busto on this board. Yeah, if he's calling, he's going to go broke with the jack. It's all good. He knows that we have to bluff in this situation if we have any bluff, so we still get paid by the jack or whatever. It's fine. It's all good. Oh my god, get the fuck out of my life with that bullshit. Whoa, what the fuck is that turn? Yeah, we play our hand perfect there, obviously. Just unlucky that he turns 2-pair in that scenario. What a fucking bummer way to end that game. That was such a battle. This guy actually plays very well. The limp call with the jack, the calling off 3.8 pre-flop with jack 8. I'm not sure if I sign off on that, but once you get this point, you're obviously never folding. Played our hand perfectly. We're just going to destroy this spot every single time. He needs to find a jack or an 8 to win this pot, and he finds the 8 of all hands. If it comes to jack, I'm not even sure if we're able to fold, but honestly, like realistically speaking, what else is he really going to have in this scenario once we've raised and he's flatted pre? So we've played our hand actually exceptionally well here because we use this alternate sizing that I've included as part of the advanced chart pack that I'm selling on the website now. We're using this alternate sizing with hands like ace queen, but obviously if he's studied that at all, he'll know the combinations that we're going to do that with a bluff as well. That will be that actually will be beating in this scenario too. It's way up there. That's definitely where you want to live if it's possible. I think at the higher stakes it's pretty inconceivable. That's the thing. But what? Well, that's probably good for us, guys. The 3-bet call king 6 of spades. I don't think that's a thing. Too much. Yeah. Okay. So that was the So that was an important one because that was specifically in a situation where you are in the big blind defending a small blind steal and is a min raise. And that's actually extremely important because the defend is massive there. The defend is absolutely massive in that scenario. Oh my God, this guy is punting, bro. This guy is punting. We have to call. This is it. This could be it for the 200 bucks. Domination. Easiest 200 of all time. Let's go. Oh my God. All right. See if we can find him one more time. No. Instead, we just got one known on the right. It's another 200 as well, huh? All right. One more. The 3x open from the button. Again, probably a bit of a telltale sign. We're not folding queen 10 suited, though. That's way too tight. That's a huge flop. Oh my days. I don't think we're shoving. I think we're just calling, right? We want him to... I mean, we don't have to protect our hand, right? We just call and hope that he carries on barreling. We're obviously willing to get this all in on the turn, no problem. Seems good. Pocket jacks. This is a trap for the 200 bucks. For the 200 bucks. For the 200 bucks. Quads. Alexander, baby. Alexander. Love to see it, mate. Love to see it. Quads, yes, please. Hit me up on social media. Please go follow me now. If you guys go follow me right now, you guys will be notified about when cool stuff happens. And I just, generally speaking, it would mean a lot. If you guys have enjoyed today's stream, don't need any money from you or anything like that. Just go and support me, and then I can continue to make content for you because that's the name of the game. So guys.